Hello YouTube and welcome to another review, and this time we have AIRFIX's World War II British Infantry 132 scale. What I can say is this box came out about 1980, which is quite late, especially for a British infantry regiment, you'd say. There was a set of British infantry prior to that, but they were a support group, which came with, things like Vickers machine gun, little extras like that, mortar, a sort of heavy mortar. And this set sort of came out quite a lot later. I think the first support group set came out about 1970, very early, and we had to wait till 1980 for this set. And I think it was a super pack size where there was 28 figures in it. This set, obviously, there's only 14. I'll cut to the chase on the pack. The artwork presented doesn't contain the figures that the artwork suggests. So where you can see British troops which look like they're in northern France, they've got their camouflage netting on the top of the helmets, their backpacks. There's a guy with a Sten. This does not reflect what's in this set, so and that I'll show you just as the review goes along. What I can say is, because obviously it's 1980, the models are very nice. They look like they paint up very well. I mean, I used to paint these up when I was a kid. There's a tremendous amount of detail on them. Don't think, because obviously you'll see a lot of videos on YouTube just where they have been painted, things like that, and a lot of the videos, they don't look too great painted up, but trust me, they do paint up very well. I've done it myself, and if you look on eBay, for instance, you'll see some that have been painted by quite professional people, and really brings out the detail on these figures. So don't be put off, there's plenty of detail on these figures. So let's just, first of all, we'll cut to the chase, and obviously we've got this artwork here which is very nice, but showing probably northern France. A lot of action going on there. Here obviously we have the actual size of the figure, and this guy is firing with his Lee Enfield, taking a good shot. So artwork wise isn't too bad. Spin around, standard fare on the side, flip her over, gives you a pose count. That actually I'll just mention now. First of all, obviously these paints and glues you don't get, which is what it's telling you here. 1 flying hour for the kit. AIRFIX. Standard fare there, just all your warnings. And this obviously is the rear. Now, unlike say the United States paratroopers and probably the German paratroopers and a few other sets, there's quite a lot of different poses in those. The poses in this set are they're very, very good poses, but there's not as many. So that's a slight downer on that case. And as you can probably see, they're all wearing sort of the 1937 British patterned weapon and clothing, which was quite ahead of its time. A lot of forces went on to copy the British battle dress. Germans did as well by the end of the war. This guy here is a mortar guy. He's got the standard British 2-inch lightweight mortar. I don't think you can actually fire it from that position. Might be a bit deadly, but that's what he's doing on there. Great grenade thrower here. It looks like he's moving, which is very difficult to do. So quite like this pose, and the officer looks very purposeful there in what he's doing. So he's really taking aim with his pistol and getting stuck in. So good couple of poses there. Nice paint guide as well, and these are actually quite well painted on the box. I don't know if the camera's bringing it out, but someone really has painted these up very nicely. You know, there's extra things you can do with these, like British forces for this period would have a red sort of tab if they were infantry regiments, or a green tab just saying which regiment they were on the shoulder. So, you know, you could paint that on as an extra. If you were a battle group, you'd have a V, Roman numeral. So, you know, there's still quite lots of things you could add on to these in terms of painting. These are all your poses, which again it says the quantities of each pose may vary, and none more so than this set because we haven't got as many poses, so you could easily get more repeat factors of certain ones. So yeah, some very, very good poses in this set, but I've got a few more gripes, so we'll get that out of the way first. So I have opened these up already, but standard fare with the bag, safety warning on there, so, you know, fair enough. And I think we'll start with this guy. So let's just have a look. So this is my sort of issue with this set, because there's just no equipment on them. You haven't got the entrenchment tool, you know, the pattern 37 webbing, just, you know, there's no backpack, which okay, but you know, there's no trenching tool, anything like that. We've got the bare minimum on here, but what is on is very, very nice. You can quite clearly see the pockets on his trousers. You know, as with the British paras, you can see the belt buckle. You can quite clearly see that's a Lee Enfield, and really nice sculpt for the helmet. It's really good. So I really like, it's a really good figure, and look at all the creases on the trousers. So, you know, really, really good quality. And there's his bayonet, you know, so really good quality. I mean, you've only got a little bit of extra mould in there, if you can see that, but that's all. In general, this is a very, very good figure, so very happy with that. Just the lack of equipment, that's just the only bugbear. So let's push him to one side. Right, this guy is the really good one, because he just, you know, gives you that impression that he's really moving and he's throwing this grenade, and that's not easy to do. So this is about probably one of the best examples of someone throwing a grenade you can get. And here you can quite clearly see his Lee Enfield. It's really nice. Rifles pulled right up against his chest, and it's just a really good pose. Face, you know, you can see everything in there. But like I say, just the bare essentials for equipment. You know, very, very slack on the equipment front, but you know, you can't have everything. And again, helmet's really, really nicely moulded on there. Very nice figure, and you know, your injector pin markers just there, which you probably won't see when you get that painted. Very, very nice. So much copied was the British battle dress, which probably surprised a few people, but certainly was. Bren Gunner. And this is another good pose, because you can actually tell he's firing this thing, and he's shooting from the hip. It's a better sculpt than the British paratrooper one. It's sort of more fine. You can see the lines in the magazine are less pronounced. You can quite clearly see the trigger. and is just holding it how you would, because the Bren's going to kick back and he just looks like he's braced, and he's firing it or about to fire. So that one's another good little model. So really liking that, and they stand well, these figures. There's no problem with them standing, so really nice. I mean, the only thing I could say, probably straps just disappearing slightly inside there, but very good. And here's our chap with the 2-inch mortar, and obviously looking like he's poised to fire, but I don't think you can fire it like that. But you know, I'm no expert. You probably could if you wanted to. Certainly if you were being pressed. Little satchel there, and whether or not that was just holding a few of these, I don't know. I'd say that'll be the only drawback with that, carrying the actual mortar bombs. But certainly it was in use, this 2-inch mortar, right the way up past World War II. I couldn't give you an exact date, but it was quite popular. Not that I've seen it used on many war films, to be honest, but there you go. But yeah, straps coming through nice and clearly there, and yeah, it's not a bad little pose, and nice creases in the uniform, so yeah, I'm quite happy with that one. Now here we have our chap running, and once again, it's not a bad model. It's showing a bit of movement there. He probably could have done with his bayonet on, but he's got his finger on the trigger, so he's certainly definitely in action there. We've got something just there which I'm not entirely sure what that is, but there is something there. Whether that's just a little extra pocket, I don't know. Excuse me. Once again, nice strapping on his webbing. It's a bit of a bayonet here. Yeah, just there. And it only goes a little bit off when you get inside there. You might not be able to see that on my camera, but it's very slight. No sign of the injector pin mark on this one. So some nice solid lines for you to get your paintbrush on and around. You know, you can even see the bolt of the Enfield on these, so you know, these are good moulds, no doubt about it. This chap here, so he's on the Thompson, and that's a good mould of the Thompson, so there's no issue with the size problem like I think the Commando had on the previous review. That's a good sculpt, liking that. Very clear, and you can see his fingers right in that trigger hole, so that's very good too. And these are good figures. Just like I say, there's not much in the way of equipment on these. They could have done just a backpack and your trenching tool and things just on the bottom half of the belt. Would have made these top class, and probably a couple more poses. I'm not asking for much, am I? But yeah, it's a good figures. Good figures. Initially, I did think these were, you know, around about 1939, but the weapon again would change. You'd have a gas mask satchel here on the front, which they did away with in the end, but initially just 1939 they would have had your sort of Dunkirk time, they would have had the gas mask holder on the front. So yeah, he's pretty. So I like these figures. I mean, I had these when I was a kid, but, and that would have been the multi-pack with the 28 figures. And there's the officer there, and I like this pose as well. Looks pretty purposeful. lots of detail. He's got his ammo pouches here. There's his holster. It's the injector pin mark, but that's nothing. Nice cap. And you can just say there's a kind of badge there, but very, very nice. Yeah, he's very good. Yeah, I like that. So he'd have his Webley revolver, and quite often they'd have a piece of string on there, but you're not gonna. Very, very good. So, am I happy? Well, I'm never happy, but these are very good figures, and you know, I have to say I do quite like them, and these are the ones I used to play with when I was a kid, and they were recent additions to the AIRFIX line, no doubt about that. This was a later set. Actually, what I do know is I've got one that's, you see here, see his head, it's gone skew whiff, so that isn't 100%. So where's the other guy? Yes, there's a bit of a mould issue there. So there you go, you can't have everything. Yeah, his head is definitely off kilter. So a good set. I haven't compared with the other AIRFIX sets as to you know, which British infantry set would be the best in terms of other manufacturers. I mean, this one is good, but it's got its flaws, there's no doubt about that, but as just bog standard British, it's pretty good. But like I say, just with the British paratroopers and the British infantry, they do suffer from a lack of poses, but on the whole it's quite a nice set. So see what you think anyway, but yeah, about worth the price, I'd say. So thanks for watching. This was about £7.50 I think on eBay, not eBay, it was Amazon. So yeah, thank you for watching, and we shall see you very soon. Bye.